Alright, that was super necessary. Hello, welcome to a barely default video. This is my texture pack. This video is going to be all about the Minecraft Dungeons concept art. There's a lot of it. I'm going to be going through the concept art also and showing off what I've made. And there's also a lot of other changes. There's a lot this update. This might be the biggest update that I've done for my pack. My pack basically brings together all the Minecraft games, Dungeons, Story Mode, China Edition. I'm very big on China Edition. I think it's very cool. You know, whatever you have, Legends, you know, all the games, all the stuff, Education Edition, whatever. I'll do it all. Marketplace content, bring it on. And now, scraping the bottom of the barrel once again. I'm doing concept art. No, this isn't the bottom of the barrel. This is a very cool concept art by Mariana, Salimena, and Tiago Martins, who made a bunch of concept art for the game. So let's get into it. So it turns out there's a lot of concept art for Minecraft Dungeons. This is all official concept art for Minecraft Dungeons. I've tried to integrate most of it. I mean, I've done it. I've done it actually. I've integrated most of it. You'll see. I've done so in clever ways sometimes. It's kind of a lot to take in, and I've now gotten really familiar with this sheet. Obviously, this sheet by Tiago Martins, I hope I'm saying that right. Tiago Martins, if you ever watched this fucking video. Bet he doesn't. But yeah, I'm gonna get into all the design choices I made, because a lot of this pixel art isn't finished. There's no names, you know, a lot of these palettes seem really random. Also very samey. There's a lot of same colors being used, which isn't the best, you know, because then I'd be, you know, there's a lot of purple, for example, in this sheet, you know, a lot of purple. So that's where I took some creative liberties. You'll see where I did that. You'll see the design changes that I made. But this is what we're going off, and then also these famous sheets, of which I've already completed a bunch, by Mariana Salimena. Who made these sheets, and that's basically the Dungeons concept art that this video is about, and everything that I've done. The molten saw blade is actually a port of Mariana's saw blade concept. It's really boring. I mean, let's just skip over it. Static link, honestly, not super inspired. Let's just go with it, right? Let's just add it. There you go. Maybe this is your piece of cake. It's a netherite palette and it's portal colored, so I guess it's not the worst. It's just really simple. But some people might think that my variants are too complicated, right? So it's not the worst. The Master's dagger. I mean, am I really gonna go over all the weapons? Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. Here it is. No, wait, where is it? The Master's dagger. I don't have it. There it is. Actually, it's called the Master backstabber. I call it the Master dagger. I thought it was cool. You know, I don't know. Masters, it's purple in the concept art, so I just gave it the palette of the Master Sword. Thought that was obvious. For whoever likes the daggers, you could collect all the daggers theoretically if you're into that sort of stuff. You know, there's a lot of daggers to go with. And the End Splinter, pretty boring sword. It shows up. Corrupted blade. Yeah, these are all in there. For some of the stuff I had to take creative liberties. Like for example, there's these two daggers. Like, what's the point? Am I gonna add two daggers? No, I'm not. So what I did is I added one dagger called the Thorned Heart in my pack. You know, we're just going over these as they come up, right? I guess. And then as you upgrade it to Sharpness 5 or Smite or Bane of Arthropods, the appearance will change. So then you have a really cool dagger right here. There you go. Look at that. You like that? This is the most stupid change ever. But look at this. What am I supposed to do? You know? Am I supposed to? Oh, this one. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to add all these daggers? No, and I didn't. Actually, I technically didn't add all of it. Everything that's worthwhile though, I did. So let's keep going. I'm really happy with these swords, the Twinkling Eye and the Ancient End Sword. I think they're really convincing as like ancient blades or like powerful mystical blades. Maybe you have like amethyst skin. I don't know. You know, it's all about representation, right? And this is obviously inspired. Well, obviously, I don't know if it must be obvious, right? By these blades, which kind of looks nothing like what I did, but that's kind of why I like it, right? It's like my interpretation on the concept art. It's like as if I'm an artist going off the concept art. I mean, that's what I'm doing. Soul Mirror, probably a lot of people's favorites. I don't know why I made it animated. I mean, this is the one it's based off. Which one is it actually? I don't even know which one it is. It might just be this one. Yeah, it's actually that one. The Soul Mirror. It's based on this one. I don't know, man. What am I supposed to make of this? You know, am I supposed to just add another boring blade? No. So I added the Soul Mirror. It's pretty fun, right? Very open to interpretation. Pink Eye, a fun sword variant. Eye of Damage. These two, very goofy, very fun, right? Obviously, show up on the document somewhat. Here they are, you know, like I said, taking the creative liberties, because otherwise, what the fuck am I doing? Just adding a bunch of purple shit. That's half finished pixel art. Let's keep going to the damage variants, because that's for some reason that's what this update is all about. I did a lot of damage variants, or like enchantment variants. Very cool. The Giver, and then again the Giver, but with sharpness, or Smite or Bane of Arthropods. Look at that. Upgrade your weapon. I think that's very cool. That's basically what this update is all about. Well, it's about the concept art, but it's also about this stuff. The Taker, you know, There you go. I mean, it's the same, just a color swap, right? Corrupted Chunk, thought that was a clever name, because the blade is definitely pretty chunky. Upgrades quite a bit. It's pretty cool, cool blade. And it uses the palette of the Corrupted Beacon from MC Dungeons, so it's like, I've like gone completely off the rails and weaved in all the lore from all the games. And we can find these weapons back. I mean, this is obviously the Corrupted Chunk, which just looks corrupted and it's kind of chunky, right? Corrupted Chunk is like Minecraft lingo, right? Thought that was clever. And then there's a smaller sword next to it, so I just thought, okay, I guess that's like a upgradable variant. That's how I did a lot of this. Here's the Corrupted Blade, right? Kind of looks like this, right? A little bit. Snow Blade, the Crystal Blade. Oh, the Taker, look. And then the Taker with Sharpness, which made it the same palette. And then again, the Giver, right? Kind of like a mirrored variants for whatever reason. They're in there. They look really extravagant. They're actually really cool designs. I like them a lot. That's why I added both of those. Bleeding Edge right here. And then the Star Sword, which, you know, again, I took a lot of creative liberties with the colors, but I'll show off later why I did that, because I'm all about sets. This update's all about sets, upgradables, and dungeons, concept art. It's about a lot of stuff. Here we go. Dragonheart Sword, a very simple sword rename. It's obviously this sword. No. It's kind of clunky, right? My system. This sword right here, right? You're seeing that. Ender Defender sword. Oh no, actually that's Dragon's Bane sword. Ender Defender sword doesn't show up on the concept art sheet, but I did add it because the Ender Defender set and Dragon's Bane set are basically mirror variants of each other, right? Famous story mode sets, if you didn't know. If you're not keeping up, I'm keeping you updated. It's this sword, right? Could have been the Corrupted Blade, but no, it's a Dragon's Bane sword, you know? Like, a lot of these designs could have been switched around. I just took the creative liberty and tried to make sets, you know, try to weave it into the lore as best as I could. Some random changes I did to already existing. Let's just get this out of the way. That I did to already existing weapons in Barely Default. The Firebolt Thrower, a weapon from Minecraft Dungeons, now has a upgraded variant. Actually based on the concept art. Look at this. Here it is. This is our Firebolt Thrower, is it not? Actually, this is it. And then there's in the other color, you know, that's the same as the Firebolt Thrower. This is basically a purple Firebolt Thrower, and if this purple Firebolt Thrower has an upgradable variant, which is this, then that means that the Firebolt Thrower should have an upgradable variant. So that's how I made an upgradable variant for the Firebolt Thrower. So the Firebolt Thrower is now a little bit cooler. If you upgrade it with Quick Charge 3, it'll get an upgraded look. And yeah. Including spectral arrows or whatever projectile you have loaded in it, you know. It's obviously much quicker also. A change to the Twisting Vine bow, it now changes pellets, same as the entire Warped Forest. If you don't know, in my pack, the Warped Forest changes its seasons. I call it seasons. I did it, you couldn't see it. Seasons, where it changes its palette from green to purple. And now the bow does the same, just to make the bow a bit more unique. You know, now it's like a worthwhile variant to get. You know, having it always in your inventory, you can slowly see it change. Or I guess you don't, because the animation is so slow. That would be the point. But it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of cool. A change to the Obsidian Broadsword. I simplified the design, and now it only gets spikes when you upgrade it to Sharpness 5. Which is really silly, but I like the Obsidian Broadsword. It's a simple, solid sword. You can combine it with many netherite sets. It's a great sword. Actually, it's a broadsword. But then I found on the concept art, look, this is how artistic I am. Look, I found our friend, the Obsidian Broadsword, or it's actually called the Claymore in Minecraft Dungeons. That's a whole other thing. I renamed it because it's obviously not a Claymore, right? It looks like a broadsword. Obsidian Broadsword in my pack. And now look at this. It's the Obsidian Broadsword, but without little spikes. So, artistic as I am, I did it. So yeah, now you need Sharpness 5 to get the little spike. Why? It's stupid change. A design change to my actual Obsidian Claymore, because I did also add an Obsidian Claymore, because I did want that name in my pack. It looks kind of funky, it looks crazy, it's vaguely designed after, I guess, this sword. I mean, I took a lot of creative liberties with this one. I didn't want it to be the same as the Obsidian Broadsword. Obsidian Claymore. There you go. You like it? Maybe it's not for everyone. It's for me though. I think it's very cool. It's a very cool blade. Let's move on to the bows, of which there are a lot. All of these are from the concept art. They have upgradable variants, matching sets from all over the Minecraft multiverse. China edition. Oh, I don't have any more space. Okay, that's fine. Story mode, you know, you name it. And obviously they're based in the Minecraft Dungeons extended multiverse, I guess, right? Concept art. I'm saying it's canon. Bow 1, Shooting Star. All right, pretty solid bow. Pretty simple. It's cool. Upgradable variant. It's nuts. Look at this. You can have this bow now. Look at this. It's incredible. It's kind of in your face, but it's huge. You look like a gangster. If this is the sort of design you like, right? With power 5. All right. You need to upgrade. Enchant your bow. Robot bow. Right, pretty simple, pretty goofy, but now check this out. Okay, look at this. Wow, you like that? That's a pretty cool design suddenly, right? I love that design. Check it out. Wow. Whoa. Chill. Whoo. Droid bow. I mean, it's exactly the same thing. And then you have the upgraded droid bow. There you go. Look at that. Whatever. Petra's bow. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh. Whoa. I'm gonna shoot it, and now I'm gonna enchant it. Oh, look at this. Look how badass it looks. This is probably the most badass bow in the pack right now. This is an incredible bow. It's just so cool. The colors, I hope it's a little bit versatile. You can mix and match it with other sets, but it's mostly supposed to match Petra's set. We'll get into that. I have all the sets laid out. A random color variant of Petra's bow is the battle bow, colored after the battle elytra, which is like evoker gear, I guess. So now that's like sort of a set, and it's, you know, just because I thought it was a perfect opportunity, like this robe design that I did, how I interpreted this concept art. This is, let's go into the bows, like where the inspiration comes from for all of this stuff. This is Petra's bow, right? This is how it starts. And then the color, I changed it away from purple. I didn't want to add all the purple stuff. There's too much purple, right, for one update. So, Petra's bow, right, thought it was perfect for this design. With the gold, actually it's this one, right here. Not that one, it's this one. That's Petra's bow at max. And then I didn't want the bulky texture, so I changed it for a cloth. And then the cloth really reminded me of an evoker, and then the crystal at the front, which I decided to be diamond, because it matches Petra's set again. I thought it was perfect if it was emerald, and that's what I did. So there we are. Look at this. Another cool upgradable bow. If you're like an Illager fanboy, I know many Illager fanboys out there. Evoker guy, shout out, right, to all these people. You can get the battle bow, and you can upgrade it. That makes it an even better bow, right? All the choices. I'm gonna overload my fans with all the choices in the bows you can have. Command lock bow looks really crazy, kind of small at first, obviously, right? Gotta upgrade it. Look at this. Power 5. Boom. Huge. Looks like a stingray. Look, don't blame me for the design. I'll explain, okay? It has little dots on it that change depending on if it's charging. You see that? It lights up also. Look at this. It's crazy. Okay, I can explain this design, okay? Let me first move on. I'll get back to that, okay? It's a complicated one. Empty bow, very simple design. Here we go. And then it upgrades. I mean, it's just only a few pixels, right? I mean, it's just a cool little detail. It's barely worth mentioning, but it's a cool little detail. Teleportation bow, big change. It goes from this, and I guess it twirls out or something like that. It upgrades, and it looks like this. It looks really cool. It's huge. It's a massive bow you can have in the pack, but only if you enchant it with power 5. Otherwise, it looks like this. Tiny little bow, right? You don't want that. You want a big bow, right? You gotta be aiming for these smaller, for these bottom designs when you're choosing these bows, unless you want to keep it at power 4, which I guess you could choose to do. But I'm not making these available at power 5. These are supposed to be upgradable bows. I think it's really cool. Back to the concept art. Here is the robot and droid bow. The palette reminded me of the Droid palette. It didn't have a bow, it looked kind of technological, so I just went for it. And then this is the final stage. I'm not doing the in-between stages, obviously. That's crazy. This is so much work, right? I'm basically having to make 4 models per bow, 7 models per crossbow, right? It's ridiculous. I'm not doing the middle stages. A shooting star should be obvious, you know. Smallest design, top design. This is a teleportation bow. There you go. Smallest design, top design. When I say top design, I mean sharpness. No, power design. Anyone keeping track? And I'll actually explain why the command block bow is this one and why it has to be this one. Okay, so first of all, the design, it should be obvious. I mean, look at it. Smallest bow, biggest bow, all right? You know, that's what it did, right? You recognize it? Now for the colors and why it had to be the command block set. If you check this out, look at this. Look at these crossbow designs, okay? I didn't add these crossbows. I could do it. I just didn't do it because whatever. But look at the colors of these crossbows. They perfectly represent the colors of the command block tools, right? Of Minecraft Story Mode. They all have a bunch of colors, the command block tools. And I made the netherite command block armor. I made it RBG and changing colors. And it's like these crossbows are the same exact design as this crossbow, right? So if we take these colors and apply them to this crossbow, we get a perfectly matching crossbow for the command block set. And it's big, it's bulky, it's crazy, and I just went for it. The eye design that's on the crossbow, look at this, whatever this stingray looking thing is, I turn it into the dots for the command. Like, I'm just really excited about this change, this new bow, which upgrades. Did I mention that it upgrades at power 5? I did. I actually stumbled over my words a few times trying to explain that. That's fine. We're here. Moving on, long ass video. More concept art I did. I mean, not all of this is new. I already had a razor blade. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, upgrades at sharpness 5, based on concept art. I think it's clever. I like it. Now we also have a slingshot. Well, a regular slingshot and a bone slingshot. Very unique design. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it goes at your hand if you go too far that way. Don't do that. There's the bone slingshot, which is actually based on concept art. And then I thought, well, it's kind of silly if this is the only slingshot. You know, I also want to add a normal variant. So there's the normal slingshot, right? For those who just want a slingshot. That isn't necessarily a half bone, half netherite slingshot, just randomly, right? I make this whole design and then I just, you know, I just parent the model. Anyways, 2 slingshots, bone slingshot and a regular slingshot. Not upgrades of each other, just standalone slingshot designs you can choose from. And I think they're really cool, really nifty, really cool model. It really works, in my opinion. Yeah, there you go. That's where we're at. 3 already existing netherite sword renames based on the concept art. It's the lava infused blade, plate knuckle, and a dust storm. You know, not these again. These aren't new, but they should be relevant to the video. Here they are: the dust storm, plate knuckles, and the lava infused blade. Actually, I think the names show up here. Yeah, plate knuckles, and then I made up the name dust storm and lava infused blade. There you go. Obvious, right? That's where we're at. Now I also made this, the comet on a stick. My newest change, the latest change I made actually. I think it's a really cool design. It's over the top, but it's also perfect in my humble opinion. Maybe not so humble because I made it. It's animated. You barely see it, it's a really slow animation, but the lava is animated. In fact, it is actually. It's just a big, what's called a comet on a stick, right? You have the sun's grace, and this is the comet on a stick. You know, we're keeping it astrological. I think it's very cool. It's a netherite axe rename. So now, if a netherite axe is your main weapon, and maybe you are like a pigling guy or whatever, you can now have a comet on a stick as a rename. I actually love this one. It's really silly, but it's also really cool. And for me, it references this bit of concept art, this flail. I'm not a fan of adding flails and whips to my pack, even though they are canon in Minecraft Dungeons, because it doesn't make sense. They have to be static unless I can make them, you know, interact or like, you know, whatever. I don't really believe in that. But I did want to turn this cool flail into a mace, and this is how I did it. I mean, it's a pretty literal interpretation, using the netherite pellet because it's used in magnet blocks, and then obviously lava pellet, chain around it. Yeah, I feel like this is a really obvious way of doing it, to be honest. But, you know, that's what I did. No, this is the one. There you go, that one. On to the crossbows, of which there are a lot and a lot to say about them. Crossbow of dominance is, well, I mean, I added all these variants, right? Because I made this model that I'm really happy with. I made a crossbow of dominance in my pack. It's really HD, but I think it works really well. It's animated, it slowly pulses. And then I made the arch crossbow, right? Which actually matches the arch elytra, right? Which is now, I guess, a set. I added the arch elytra because I think the arch elytra... There you go, I think the arch elytra is really cool. I really like the arch elytra as a character. And now, alongside the arch elytra is the arch crossbow. And maybe I need to add more to this set. But for now, it's only this, right? And then it's the same cube, it glows. It's really cool. 3 more variants of that model, we'll get into it. They all have a glowing cube, their own cube of dominance, orb of dominance. The Fred's crossbow, Romi's crossbow, and Xera's crossbow. Okay, we'll get into that. Wanted to show off where the inspiration came from for the crossbow of dominance is this one. Alright, and this is a crossbow, it's kind of goldish. It kind of looks like it might be an orb of dominance. Like, listen, I'm taking a lot of creative interpretation here, okay? I'm taking a lot of creative liberty here, okay? This might very well not be an orb of dominance, but then I saw this design. Look at this. It's perfect place. You know, this is almost, it writes itself, is what I'm saying, right? And look at this palette. It's like Fred's palette. And then it makes sense for the admins to have their own orb of dominance. Why not? You know, like, who's in charge here? The admins or the orb of dominance? You know, like it's like a power hierarchy thing. I don't know, by the way. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I did. I took this design, then I took this design, and I took this design, turned it into one design, and it's a crossbow of dominance. I'm really happy with it. I perfectly integrated the orb, in my opinion. It's just like a massive crossbow. It's one of the coolest crossbows for sure. And then, of course, all its color variants are equally valuable. Look at this. It's just so cool. It's the coolest. It doesn't get better than this, right? But let's still move on to the Lost Signal and the in-between. The Cursed Crossbow, Fermented Crossbow, Ravaged Crossbow, Yeah, I mean, I guess that's we'll show them off quickly. This is where the design for the cursed crossbow came from. Fermented crossbow and the ravaged experiment. It's pretty random. These two using the same model, pretty random, wacky crossbows. Where this one is well, still pretty wacky, but it's, I guess, a bit more uniform. These two obviously have eyes, so that's already crazy. The in-between and the lost signal, beautiful crossbows, absolutely incredible. I love these. They're kind of like maybe hippie. You know, hippie design, like kind of, I don't really know, but they're really cool, really colorful. Straight up shout outs to this guy, Tiago Martins, who made this concept art, because this is the inspiration for these crossbows. And I just basically took the design pixel for pixel. I mean, I added some 3D depth, as I do with my crossbow designs, with my models in general. You know, I add 3D details everywhere. But still, you know, these colors and this design of these crossbows, which is so cool, you know. And obviously I made up the names, but yeah, this is these two crossbows, the lost signal and the in between, are the most like literal ports of the stuff that I found here. The other stuff is pretty vaguely pixel arted. This is like, you know, straight up art. I love these colors. It just you know, jumps out at you. And these are the crossbows that came out of that. Moving on, the bat crossbow. A bee crossbow, I love that name. Ancient Guardian microshot, unstable crossbow, and the caver crossbow. Okay, first of all, the bat crossbow isn't in the concept art, but the shrieking crossbow is a model variant of this. An official crossbow in Minecraft Dungeons is called the bat crossbow in the files, and for some reason I decided to you know, make that a thing because I think that's fun, quirky. A bee crossbow shows up in the concept art. Ancient Guardian microshot doesn't. It doesn't belong in this update, but I still edited this update. It's because I did an Elder Guardian microshot, and I did want to do an you know, an ancient one as well, because I have no other references to the Ancient Guardian. So this is actually the first reference to the Ancient Guardian. It's a microshot, not an official microshot. It's one that's in my pack. It's fine. Unstable crossbow, pretty simple, and then the caver's crossbow. This is where the design for a bee crossbow came from. This is the unstable crossbow, the caver's crossbow. Now the caver's crossbow is a fickle mistress, right? It might actually be one of my favorite. First of all, it looks great. Amethyst and copper, purple, orange, great palette. Called the caver's crossbow, a reference to caves and cliffs, right? When amethyst and copper were added. I mean, you know, like, give me some credit. I have to like interpret these palettes as something, right? Try to weave it into the lore. So that's what I did, the caver's crossbow. And then someone gave me an idea. It was Bacon, actually. He gave me the idea to add variants for the caver's crossbow as it loses durability. Well, actually, just oxidized variant. Well, I mean, I can do that with Optifine, right? With sit. So that's what I did. I think it's perfect. As it loses durability, it'll degrade, and then you can repair it, obviously, or you have mending. It's a really dynamic crossbow, and crossbows don't even have that much durability. You actually might lose your durability relatively fast, so you might actually see this effect a lot. So this is like one of the S tier crossbows. Easy. Am I gonna do a crossbow tier list now? No, because the other elytra tier list wasn't so popular. But maybe it will. Maybe you should watch it. I do a lot of videos. Check out subscribe. Reminder, halfway in the video, to subscribe. How good of me, what a professional YouTuber I am. Anyway, caver's crossbow, it's great. It's not just great, it's the best. It might be the best, honestly. Moving on, some upgradable crossbows. The Ender Destructor, which starts off pretty small and gets massive, and then you know, it's super fast. Look at this. It looks pretty cool. I really love how the bigger crossbows are faster. Like that's a really cool design change. You know. Imagine that you first have this one, and then you finally get a book, you upgrade it, and the look upgrades, and then the effect upgrades too. Oh man, that's so cool, isn't it? My pack is the best, isn't it? Just tell me it's the best. You don't even need to tell me, I'll tell myself. Teleportation crossbow, you know, upgrades his design also. Just very big, over the top, massive. Yeah, just love seeing that. It has a huge string. And yeah, a happy addition. It upgrades its look massively also. Echo Shot, a model variant of the fireball thrower. Just for funsies, I didn't have a reference to the Warden. I thought this was a cool place to do it. I don't really know, I just did it. Echo Shot, let's deal with it. New crossbow, Echo Shot. Starts off as this, then you get it to quick charge 3, and it looks like this. The Ender Defender crossbow and the Dragon's Bane crossbow. Now this is kind of a big deal, obviously completing some sets famous from Minecraft Story Mode. These are pretty massive, right? It starts off pretty humble, and then it turns huge as well. And it might even look a little bit like a dragon, so I don't even know. It's pretty cool. Why did I choose these sets? Again, just because the colors kind of lined up. I mean, Look at this, look at this crossbow. I mean, I don't know, there's only so many purple things I have in my pack, right? So yeah, 2 new awesome crossbows you can use. It does make me think that I might have to update the Dragon's Bane sword or have an upgradable variant for it. Because this looks fine. If I'm wearing the full set, it looks cool. You know, I'm matching. I look great. I look like a little adventurer. Look at me, how quirky I am. But this is now kind of silly. Look at my tiny sword. So I might have to invent an upgradable variant for the Dragon's Bane. And Ender Defender sets, which is no problem. I love it. I think it's very cool. The upgradable variant, it's my new thing. I love it a lot. You know, I love adding details like that. A crossbow that we completely glossed over going into those sets is Queen Jean, a very special crossbow. Actually, well, I mean, it kind of lines up. It's fine. It's fine. Queen Jean matches the Ender Dragon set perfectly. You know, it doesn't. That set doesn't have a sword, which I might have to invent a sword. So there you go. Looks pretty cool. And then if you upgrade Queen Jean, either to piercing or multi-shot, it'll change its appearance depending on that, right? This is the one with the multi-shot enchantment, which has the many wings, and then this is the piercing one, right? Now you have piercing on it. Look at this. You just have a regular arrow, and then when you get multi-shot on it, it'll you know, have 3 arrows, because of course it does. Why wouldn't it have 3 arrows? Pretty over-the-top design. You can choose to have this. Obviously, it's a choice. You know, if this is something for you, then do it. If it isn't, then don't. You know, it's kind of how that works. I do think it's a very special variant because it has 3 arrows on it. I mean, it's just the obvious thing to do, right? For a multi-shot crossbow. I won't do it for all of them. It's too much work, honestly. But for this one, since I'm doing a design based on an enchantment here, I thought that was perfect. The reason why I'm doing this is, getting back to the concept art, is this tiny little crossbow right here. I decided this was Queen Jean, and then this would just be upgradable variants. And then for the piercing one, I made a mashup of all of these designs. And then for the multi-shot, I basically just went for the double wing design and kind of just, you know, went nuts. Maybe a bit too nuts, but this is the crossbow we ended up with, and I like it. You know, it's huge, it's over the top, but you can choose to have this, right? If it's not for you, then, you know, don't use it. But I like having options for everyone, right? Look at this. It is pretty cool having a path you can take. You can even have 2 crossbows, right? If you're really into the Ender Dragon set. It only has a shield so far, but it goes pretty well with most purple swords. So that's the thing. Even though this is technically pink eye, it's a pink sword. Time to shine some light on these swords. I mean, pretty basic. New swords for the Golden Goliath set and the Star Shield set. The Star Sword and the Golden Goliath sword. I mean, I don't know if these are great. You know, they're ports from the concept art, so that's why I like it. They're pretty wacky designs. And it's cool that these sets now have unique swords, you know. That's worth something to me. Worth a lot to me, actually. Oh yeah, a little showcase to show you that the teleportation bow and the teleportation crossbow, which obviously are set on their own. I don't know why they are. Most people have either one, but maybe you really like the design. I don't know. Matches the teleportation elytra, because I was really desperately running out of purple pallets. So, you know, here you go. If you're wearing the... Oh, man. If you're wearing the teleportation elytra, you can now, you know, be really quirky and have a matching crossbow. Or this looks actually really cool. This looks like some superhero shit, you know. I could be like a superhero like right now. This is super cool, actually. I didn't know that would be that cool. All right, here we go. While we're on the topic of elytras, let's check out the unstable elytra and the unstable crossbow, which now form a set. Again, running out of purple pellets, a lot of purple, right? And I'm actually really loving I didn't see this before. I never wore the elytra with the actual crossbow, but I'm loving the cape matching my weapon. That is super badass. I'm unironically in love with this right now. I didn't know that. I thought this would be like a side thing to show off, but no, I'm absolutely loving this combo. This is phenomenal. But this is maybe even better. Petra's bow famously changes texture, right? I mean, famously, I just introduced it. I just made it. I just made it up, basically. Conceptualized it, all right? Petra's bow changes texture, right? And now you can match it with Petra's armor. I mean, now, literally now. I only just added it, right? Like I said, look at this. I mean, this is already kind of matching, and then it's kind of cool. Oh, look at this. I got a cool bow. Oh, look at me. And then, boom. Look at that. Perfect match. Right? Isn't that phenomenal? And Petra's is already a really cool set, I gotta say. Petra used to be my favorite set. Now I have too many over-the-top extravagant sets to say that Petra would be my favorite. But with this new addition of the bow, Petra has gained some points, right? In the overall barely default set tier list. Swiftly moving along, because it is ultimately a lot to show off. Actually, we skipped some bows. We'll get back to that in a minute. We'll first show this off. Romeo's set one big change to all the admin sets is now that their glowing parts are actually... Let's make it nighttime so we can actually see some of the emissive features in my pack. There's actually a lot of emissive stuff going on in my pack. Like a lot of these variants have emissive maps. It's cool stuff, you know. You'll want these. Look at this fun little detail. If it upgrades, look at it's more dull before it upgrades. You see that? It's more dull, and then when it upgrades, it's fully lit. You see that? It's just like a fun little detail you'll notice at night, or you won't notice. But I've told you it anyway. Same for these swords. A lot of emissive stuff going on. And what I've done for all the palettes of the admin sets, so Xera, Fred, and Romeo, is I've made it pulsate. All their glowing bits made it pulsate. It's really subtle, but now that I've told you this, I'm sure you can see it. It pulses between red and kind of pinkish. And then this one also pulses really subtly. You know, and then the same for this one. If I didn't tell you this, I don't know if you'd notice, but it looks really fucking cool. Especially since now there's an Orb of Dominance crossbow, you know, tying this whole set together. You have the sword, you have the shield. Oh no, what about the sword? It's pretty small, right? Don't you think? Oh, check this out. You know, by the way, even the sword and the shield pulsates, right? In this palette shifting way, right? It's like the whole set kind of like pulsates now. I think it's super cool. Okay. So here we are with this tiny sword. You already saw it. Sharpness 5, obvious. Like I feel like I'm like so predictable at this point. But the solution to this small sword, I thought it was too small. But let's be honest, the default sword is really small, right? And it's not even the shield's fault that I made, because the default shield's also huge, right? This is your natural balance in Minecraft. It's ridiculous. Right, so I'm just trying to fix all that with my named variants. So first it's this, no, first is this sword, sharpness 5, the Romeo sword turns into this sword, right? Matches it perfectly, and it just makes this set so fucking badass. Look how cool this is. It's incredible. I love it. Now I did the same for Xera's set, you know, where the sword upgrades, you know, if this is your favorite set. And obviously you have a really cool crossbow to go with it, with its own Orb of Dominance. Xera's own Orb of Dominance, look at that. How about equality, huh? That's equality right there. Xera gets her own Orb of Dominance. Yeah, and I mean, everybody's expecting this, but Fred's does the same, obviously, and it pulsates, so it looks really fucking cool. And you know, he has his own crossbow also, so it's, you know, and his own orb even. Super cool. Shout outs to Fred. If Fred's your favorite admin, I don't know why he would be. His armor's kind of silly, but here we are. Somehow he now has one of the coolest sets, just because I made a bomb-ass crossbow design, just because Tiago Martins made a bomb-ass concept art design for Minecraft Dungeons. All right, here we are. Now finally, one of my favorite sets in the pack, the command block gear. Now this set represents the diamond command block tools and the sword from Minecraft Story Mode, which came out before there was netherite. So I decided, you know, in Minecraft Story Mode, all the tools, the command block tools, have a different color palette, right? And I decided for the netherites here, let's blend them all together into this cool RGB thing, right? Look at this. Like, this set will be horrible for hiding, but it's definitely impressive, right? But then, you know, I used the default sword texture, which, as we discussed earlier, is just really tiny. So now what I've done is a really simple change, and I added a new sword variant to the command block sword, you know, with sharpness 5. The tools are unchanged, all of this, you know, only the sword because it's necessary. Look at this. Now it's such a cool set. It's so much more in balance. And remember, this is the default sword size, all right? It's not me who's being silly. I need to make this bigger, right? And I don't know, I know maybe this is too big now, this sword, realistically speaking, but in Minecraft terms, this just feels so much more balanced, right? Bigger swords. That's what I'm all about now. And this was so necessary, especially since the command block bow, which lined up perfectly. I had to do it. Also, it being made of crystal, thought that was perfect too. That one being so big, the shield being so big, this sword just couldn't stay behind. Imagine walking around like this, right? You just feel, no, not like this, you know, you just feel kind of silly, like a silly little man. Now look at you. Look at this. Is that cool? That's the best. Next set to show off is the Droid set. You know, a color variant of the robot set, which is I don't know, it's armor that appears on an armor stand in Minecraft Channel Edition. I did a whole video about the furniture in Minecraft Channel Edition. It's kind of wild. It's not wearable armor, I don't think, but I just made armor design after it. You know, my own take on it. The robot armor, I called it. And then I did a red variant just so I could, you know, whatever. I did the whole thing. And now we've done the whole thing for bows. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Isn't that the perfect match? And then the robot sword is this. So look at this. You can walk around like this. Oh, but also you'll like the robot shield here. Check this out, which has nothing to do with this update. I added it before. Check this out. Isn't that cool? Don't you feel cool? Oh, you can also look, if you upgrade your lightsaber, your droid sword to sharpness 5. This may be controversial, but it'll get the training wheel blades. I think that's cool. That's a cool little reference. I think it's cool. you know, visual change. It doesn't look half bad, actually. You know, I think my armor might be better than Kylo Ren's design, TBH. And then you can also have a Droid's Dancer Sword, but it doesn't upgrade. It's just a regular, you know, if you name it Dancer Sword, it'll have the double blade design. And you look totally badass with your Droid shield. Same with the robot set. Obviously, you know, it's a banger, straight up banger. Get your bow upgraded, then you get your sword that's apparently already upgraded. You know, it's a cool cross. You're like a, I don't know what you are. And then you have a shield. Look at this. Oh, this is the fucking best, right? This is what we're talking about. This is the life. Fucking, I'm such a nerd. This is the life. But for real, man, I mean, this is what it's all about. Look how cool this is. It's just a texture pack, man. You can get it now. It's free. Free texture pack. By me, MJ. Now I have a little bit more stuff to show off in this update. Let's first start off with a new tiered armor set rename. That tiered means that it comes in all the tiers, right? This is chainmail, and for chainmail I always take a bit more creative liberty in my sets. Actually, I didn't make this. Let's cut right to the chase. This is I mean, I normally don't take contributions from the community, but this is a set. I mean, all the sets are made by a fan of mine, NinjaFrito. He plays on my SMP. He's in my Discord. You can get a link to my Discord. You can come hang out with me and NinjaFrito. He made these sets for you guys. The Shogun set. I think it's very cool. The boots are, for some reason, they are leggings. But, you know, whatever. He's an artist. Let him do his thing. And it looks pretty cool. It's a pretty convincing set. I especially like the netherite set. I mean, you know, if this is something for you, the Shogun set now available in all the tiers. You know, huge shout out to NinjaFrito who made this. And you will be seeing more of NinjaFrito on my SMP. I also do live streams sometimes. Subscribe, another reminder. Just subscribe, you know, I'm a fun guy. Here I am, making the best resource pack. Sometimes going a bit unnoticed. That's okay. I'm only a little bit jaded. Moving on to the next great big feature. Drills. I did drills in Minecraft. These are actual drills. They rotate. Have you ever seen anything like this? No, you haven't. Because I am a very inventive guy. And look at this. I dreamed this up. Look at these drills. Isn't that cool? Little drills. They're pickaxe renames, right? Obviously tiered. I've thought about this, you know, when you have a highly enchanted pickaxe and you have haste from a beacon that you just want to, like, you know, it feels like you're drilling. And now you can have the drill. An actual drill. Isn't that cool? And it's animated. It's fluent. Perfect. Great texture. Look at this. It's awesome. Drills. Drills 2024. Another pickaxe rename. The mountain pickaxe. Really lame. Really boring. But it's in Minecraft Dungeons. So, you know, might as well do it. You know, it's for the variety. And, you know, for all the tiers. If you don't want the default pickaxe style, you can have a different pickaxe style. Alright? Where's the default pickaxe style? There it is. Look, you can choose which pickaxe do you want. Alright? You can choose which one you want. Do you want the regular pickaxe, the mountain pickaxe, or this fucking drill? It's obviously the drill. Alright? Quickly becoming two of my favorite sets in the game, Magnus and Elegard sets. I also have to show off these elytra. They're just so cool. Look at this. Magnus sets with Magnus's elytra. Look at this. Isn't that the coolest? He has like 3D wings. Oh man, I love it. Magnus's elytra. Elegard's elytra is equally cool. And these two sets I've added swords, a new drill, because why not? I mean, for Elegard it makes more sense, right? She's like a technological gal, and then, you know, in my pack, Magnus is like a mirror set of Elegard set, right? A new crossbow, which is a very unique design. I personally really love it. It's really unique, and then the arrow sticks out like that. You're gonna have to just play with it with your friends, because it looks kind of... You're gonna have to want to see this from the side, right? It's really cool, unique crossbow design. Both for Elegard and for Magnus. So if you know, maybe you're just really into the color green. Maybe you just really like the green palettes. You can have a big green sword, big green crossbow, green suit, even an elytra, a drill. You know, it's a big whoop, big deal. Now I might actually prefer Elegard set a little bit more. It's very cool. I mean, obviously it has a shield, but look at this. Look how cool this is. Isn't this the best? The colors of the sword work so well. The design of the sword, it's such a unique design also. Oh man, I just love Elegard set. Look at this. And then now you can have the crossbow also. Check this out. Look at us. We have a big old crossbow. Boom. Loading it. Bam. Loaded. Oh man, it's awesome, isn't it? And then now Elegard also has a drill. And she also has a cool elytra. Worth showing off. Totally. Look at this. Here, check me out. With my big wings. You seeing this? You like that? Bet you do. Woo! Yeah, bunch of drills, bunch of sets, bunch of fun stuff. Some random sword renames I have for you. A living flame sword and a living myth sword. Not related to Minecraft Dungeons concept art at all anymore, by the way. This is just updates that I've also done alongside the Minecraft Dungeons stuff. Based on Pyra and Mithra swords. Living flame sword and living myth sword. You know, if you know where they're from, good for you. If you don't look it up. Just take these as cool swords. Okay, just enjoy. And by the way, I did this because Steve is in Smash. All right, come on, guys. Another new sword is the Royal Sword, based on Ike's Regal Sword. Regal, obviously Royal, thought that was an easy one. And I thought it was perfect because Ike's sword kind of has a netherite colored hilt and a golden blade. And look at this, I have a Royal set, which is my own set. It's the first named variant that I added actually, obviously way before netherite was a thing. It's very simple, it's just gold and netherite. And then, the Royal sword is a perfect match with that for obvious reasons. And the Royal shield, look at this. The Royal Shield is actually from Magnus and Elegard. So now I'm tying, again, a bunch of things together into one set. Suddenly we have the Royal set. The Royal set, which is supposed to be a tiered set, but now here we are. We have a full Royal set with Ike's new sword. Pretty simple set. If this is what you're into, you can just look like this on the server. Dope as fuck, right? Nearing the end of the video. Shout out to NinjaFrito again as we pass him. Hey, hello, NinjaFrito. Thanks for contributing. Guys, type in chat. Thanks to NinjaFrito. Or chat, comments, whatever. Type in the comments. Thanks, NinjaFrito. The final thing that I have to show off is a new system that I'm going to be working on. So this is like a little bit of a future proofing that I've done. I have a bunch of sets in my pack. One of them is the Redstone Riot set. One of them is the Shield of Infinity set, which is the one right here. These sets are based on sets in Micro Story mode, which originally don't have helmets. Alright, I invented these helmets. Now, what I've done here is if you call a netherite helmet, Redstone Riot helmet, it'll look like this, right? It'll just be the regular helmet that I dreamed up for the Redstone Riot gear. But now, and this is very Terraria-esque, right? This is inspired by Terraria. They do this, right? Relogic does this. Check this out. Redstone Riot mask, it turns into, oh my god, you have different helmet styles, MJ? I do. And this is the next thing I can be expanding upon. Right, look at this. Suddenly, your Redstone Riot looks an awful lot like Iron Man, and this texture might be a work in progress, especially this one. Even though it's kind of silly, you don't really need the Shield of Infinity set with a Iron Man mask, actually, at all. That makes no sense. Look at this. Who am I even? I don't know. Some blue guy. But whatever, These are mirrored sets of each other, obviously. The Redstone Riot set already has tools, a sword, and a shield. And that was obviously, for me, I don't know. I tried to make it like a little bit Iron Man-esque. And that only makes the mask make more sense. I feel like this idea must have been brewing for a while, like subconsciously. Look at this, you look so cool. If you have a shield and a sword, you can be straight up Iron Man, right? You can just choose to look like this. And then the shield is like a laser shield. And open it up, your glove opens up. Isn't that cool? Is that the coolest fucking thing you've seen? Maybe it isn't, but it's still really cool, right? And you have this sword that's actually just like, is that immersive as fuck? Look at this, looks pretty cool, right? You can just look like this in Minecraft. And it's all Micro Story mode lore, except it's with an MJ twist, because this isn't officially in Micro Story mode. And I guess that's everything I have to show off. Oh my god, this world is lagging so much. I'm adding too many items, too many items, too many armor stands, too many of everything. Look at all the stuff I have in total. In case this is the first video you see of my pack. I have a lot of named variants, a lot of tiered sets. Now, the Shogun set, proudly made by NinjaFrito, oh my god, the lag is crazy. A bunch of elytras, a bunch of crossbow renames, proudly now repping the new crossbows that I've added this update, the slingshots, all the stuff. I love it. It's so satisfying, right, to see all this. Yeah, this update brings bug fixes. It makes the pack more compatible with the fabulously optimized mod pack. A bunch more boring stuff that you probably don't care about. It's the end of the video. So like, subscribe. Here, look at all these upgradable variants in my pack. Look how satisfying this is. These were already in the pack. These are crazy. Check this out. You upgraded your hammer. It flames. And it's not even a flame enchantment, it's just smite and or whatever it is, sharpness and efficiency and whatever a hammer is gonna have. Look at all this stuff. Some of this stuff is subtle, but some of the stuff is more, meaningful, I think. Especially these, obviously. These are crazy, latest editions. So yeah, check out my pack. Barely default. Shout out to NinjaFrito, who made this cool set that I'm wearing right now. Oh my god, the lag. Don't download the world. It is up for downloads if you want to try this. If your PC can handle this, you're doing better than me. I cannot record and also be in the world. I think I can play in it without recording, but as soon as I start recording, it's like crazy. It's way over the top. Yeah. Let me know what your favorite change was. What should I do more of? And yeah, let's. Oh yeah, I did. Look what I did. I changed the saw blades actually. Gave them longer handles. Nobody gives a fuck. I changed the spears also, made them longer. Nobody gives a fuck, MJ. I changed the Whispering Spear and the Fortune Spear even. Nobody gives a fuck, MJ. But I did do it. Look, I made them longer. Why not? If you're gonna add weapons, make them big, right? I literally did this update, right? If anyone cares. I don't think anyone does. Look, I made the Highland axes longer again. Because, if you're gonna add them, make it big, right? Add variants, make them big. I fucking love this one. Comet on Stick. Oh, I don't think I showed this one off yet. The Mace of Legends. right? Check that out. Check that out. That's the Legends logo, the game icon. Isn't that clever? And you just looks like a baby's rattle, maybe a little bit, but I think it's cool. Mace of Legends. You like Adventure Time? We got Adventure Time. Check this out. Katana wraps around my arm. I mean, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Right? We done everything. Is everybody satisfied? NinjaFrito, shoutouts to you. Thank you so much. My #1 fan, obviously. Probably, I mean, I don't know. Let me know if you're a bigger fan. Just write a comment. NinjaFrito will write like 16 comments. But that's okay. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. Bye.